In modern warfare, communications infrastructure is as decisive as firepower. Recent weeks in the Ukraine conflict surfaced a significant development. Reportedly, Russian forces lost effective access to Starlink satellite internet services. The disruption, whether deliberate or technical, exposed a fundamental truth. In 21st century warfare, connectivity is not a convenience. It is a combat asset. When SpaceX's Starlink constellation became operational over Ukraine, it fundamentally altered the character of the conflict. For the first time at scale, frontline units gained access to low-latency, high-bandwidth satellite internet, independent of terrestrial infrastructure that could be shelled, jammed, or destroyed. The implications were immediate. Drone operators could coordinate strikes with real-time video feeds. Commanders could share intelligence across dispersed units without relying on fixed communication nodes. Logistics coordination became faster and more resilient. Starlink did not just improve communications, it restructured how battlefield decisions are made. Connectivity, in this environment, translates directly into operational tempo. The side with reliable communications acts faster, adapts quicker, and makes fewer errors. The side without it reverts to slower, more fragmented decision-making, a significant disadvantage in fluid, high-intensity conflict. Reports indicate that Russian forces, who had gained access to Starlink terminals through various unofficial or illicit channels, experienced a significant curtailment of that connectivity, and the precise mechanism remains publicly unconfirmed, whether through updated access controls, terminal-level authentication measures, or other technical interventions. What is documented is the consequence. Units that had integrated Starlink into their operational workflows, particularly for drone coordination, faced abrupt gaps in their communications architecture. Backup systems, where available, are generally slower and less capable. The disruption did not eliminate Russian communications capacity, but it introduced friction at a moment when operational coordination already faced significant pressure. This episode raises structural questions that extend well beyond Ukraine. Starlink is a commercial service operated by a private corporation. Yet its battlefield role now carries strategic military weight equivalent to sovereign infrastructure. That creates an unprecedented governance problem. Who decides when access is granted or revoked? Is it a corporate decision shaped by terms of service? Is it a response to government pressure from Kiev, Washington, or other allied capitals? The answer remains ambiguous, and that ambiguity is itself significant. International law governing conflict has no established framework for private satellite operators. There are no treaties defining their obligations, their neutrality, or their liability. A single corporate decision, or the perception of one, can now shift operational conditions on an active battlefield. That is a structural reality policymakers have not yet fully addressed. In the Donbass region, where contact lines have remained contested and periods of nominal ceasefire have repeatedly broken down, reliable communications infrastructure has particular significance. Disrupted connectivity complicates coordination across extended front lines, slows the integration of drone reconnaissance with ground response, and creates ambiguity in command structures operating under pressure. The degree of tactical impact is difficult to verify independently, but the directional effect of reduced communications capacity is well established in military doctrine. What this episode illustrates is a structural shift in the nature of strategic infrastructure. Satellite communications networks, operated by private entities, have become leverage points in armed conflict. Whichever actor controls access to those networks holds influence that no existing legal or political framework fully governs. As this conflict continues, and as others may follow, the question of who controls the sky's invisible infrastructure will be among the most consequential strategic questions of our era.